Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing a review of a horror film from Norway, Norwegian and Danish language English subs, released in the year 1997, directed by Trygve Alistair Dearson, and this film is called Island of Darkness. So Island of Darkness takes place with this Danish teacher. She has been fired and she realises that her boyfriend has been cheating on her all in one day. So it's all too much to handle now. She has to try and find another job. She goes to a bar, she's getting drunk. She decides that she is going to post this paper on the dartboard, and it has a list of jobs, and whatever the dart lands on, she's going to take. So she has no idea what she wants to do, but she's going to let fate decide. So she throws the dart, it lands, and now she is on her way to a very secluded island in the south of Norway where this religious community resides. So she gets to the island and she is starting her teaching role, and she starts to notice that something is off. The kids are very strange, the people in the town are very strange near the adults, and there's also a lot of deaths that have occurred, and most of these deaths are down to suicide. So she starts to think that is a little bit weird, and then she takes a liking to one of the students named Solvig. Now Solvig is very strange. Her father committed suicide, and no one really respects this girl. So the teacher wants to know what the hell is going on, and then she starts to realise that Solvig is in grave danger. And no one else believes this teacher, because they say Solvig is a strange person, that she's been through a lot, just let her go. But she doesn't want to do this teacher, and she starts to get the unwanted attention of this community, and it starts to go down a very, very dark path. So what happens to this Danish teacher is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on Island of Darkness. I was really stoked that I got an opportunity to see this film. Now apparently it's very rare. I don't even see a trailer for it on YouTube. I looked and looked and looked, but I couldn't find anything, and it's not for sale on DVD anywhere that I know. Apparently it's on sale in Germany, but that is only one of the few countries that sell this film. And so my great friend Magnus, Vaultkeeper2, he sent me a copy of this movie, so if it wasn't for him I wouldn't have been able to see it. I'm sure a lot of you guys haven't heard of this film as well. So as far as Norwegian horror films are concerned, this is definitely before the big boom in Scandinavian cinema. This is 1997, so it's a little bit, back in time. But it's very interesting to see that this was basically the start of things to come from Norway and Scandinavia in general. So after seeing the movie, I was actually pretty impressed with what I got. Now if you're a fan of films like The Wicker Man, it's a very different film for The Wicker Man in the approach. The Wicker Man was much more artistic, but this movie has the same sort of feeling of, a very secluded community, and they don't take to outsiders very well. And the outsider uncovering really sinister things behind this community, and as a result putting themselves in danger. So it has that very similar feel, and it has the darker side of religion and religious fanatics, and how that fanaticism can border on psychosis and horrible things happening, and basically doing things in the name of God, but doing things in a very harmful sort of way. So if you like those types of movies, Island of Darkness will really appeal to you, and I thought that this was actually well made. It's not a movie that relies on violence. It's very, very suspenseful. It's a movie that does very slowly get under your skin, and it's the stuff that you can't feel. So this is something that Scandinavian horror is all about, and it was very interesting to see that this is one of the earlier films, as I said, that really started the new wave of Scandinavian cinema. So the acting was very good. I thought the main character, who is a Danish actress, was very good. I can't recall her name now, but she's been in a lot of Scandinavian films. I thought her character, although it's not really going into depth, you can get the sense that she wants a break. She wants a break from the busy lifestyle, but when she gets into this secluded community, you can tell that she's a good person, because she wants to help the people in this community, but because for reasons that I'm not going to go into, it's going to be a lot harder than she thought. So you can see that she's got a good heart, and you can see that she's had a lot of bad things happen to her, and you don't really care about that. Unfortunately, the movie doesn't rely on feeling sorry for the characters. It relies on the atmosphere, because it goes for 70 minutes. Yeah, 70 minutes. So it's a very short film, and it doesn't waste a lot of time. It gets into the thick of things pretty quickly, and I thought the story unfolded very well. Continuity was very good. As I said, it's a little bit dated, 1997, but it doesn't get in the way. It doesn't try and do any special effects or anything silly. I thought the ending was quite decent. It left a very rewarding experience for me. As I said, the acting was good, especially from the religious fanatics. I thought they played it was a very subtle role, but it was a very creepy role. So it's a psychological horror film that gets you on a lot of levels. My problems with the film is I thought a lot of the soundtrack didn't quite work. Once again, the soundtrack made it feel like an old film, and where these old films where you think to yourself, well, they've used this soundtrack to kind of intensify the situation. Instead of allowing it to creep up on you, in some moments the movie, it cues the soundtrack in order to get a certain emotion across. So if it's a scary moment, it'll have scary music. If it's an action moment where she's getting chased or something, it'll cue the music. So it's kind of dictating where you should be feeling what. And that to me I didn't like. I thought that was a little bit out of place because the rest of the film doesn't do that. It's a very disturbing film. The themes are very disturbing. As I said, it's not a graphic film, but the overall themes behind the film are very well done and very, very creepy. It's not a movie for kids. If you haven't got the taste for movies about psychology as opposed to what you see, then you might not like this film. But for me, I really appreciated the fact that this was a very creepy atmosphere, religious element, very similar to The Wicker Man in that it's a secluded island where they don't take to outsiders intruding on their personal life, and it also depicts religion as well. So if you're not the type of person that likes to see religion in a bad way, then maybe stay away from this, but it does show you that religious fanaticism that is ever present in today's society. So overall, for Island of Darkness, it's not a brilliant film. I will say that. As I said, it is very short. It doesn't really go into characters too much, but it does what it does very well. It's a very psychological film that does hit you on a lot of levels, and at the end of it, you come away thinking to yourself that, yes, this movie's not going to win an Oscar, but it was certainly one that I was, I was happy to go through and experience. So overall, for Island of Darkness, I'm going to give it 3 stars. I'm going to say go out there and see it, especially if you like films like The Wicker Man. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.